You're watching Friday Night Beyond the Lights on WUTR.
On a night filled with high school sports, let's not forget about college football in the area too. Colgate has had a tough start to the 2021 season. The Raiders have lost both games so far and have been outscored 75-3. That makes it 4 losses in a row for them going back to last season. And Colgate's not scored more than 1 touchdown in a game since November of 2019. But not to just list off all of the early season rust here. Raiders first-year head coach Stan DeCoste says that he's trying to mix things up by bringing in some new energy to the practices.
I mean, I've had the privilege of working under Coach Biddle and under Coach Hunt, and then with my dad as a longtime head coach from high school. So I've had like 3 main head coaches in my life where it'd be foolish not to use influence or the influences that they've had or the different things that they did. So I definitely, pulled something from those guys, but at the same time, I wanted to make sure my personality was a reflection of the program, So just, from a discipline standpoint, from, sense of urgency at practice, from the attention to detail stuff, just kind of building a foundation and, making the practice feel different for the guys because I wanted it to purposely feel different, and we practiced a certain way here for a while, which worked, so I wanted to build off of that and switch it up so they felt that change and felt that kind of, hey, we're going in a new direction and an exciting direction. Hopefully, competitive is up there where, I like the structure and sense of urgency at practice and constant movement and tempo and which kind of brings the competitive nature and competitive intensity. So hopefully, they get a sense of that. I'm I guess a little old school in the sense of just having our helmets on at practice and making sure the locker room's cleaned up every day and stuff like that, to where the little things, taking pride in that type of stuff. And I think I'm in this because of the relationship with the players. If we get on them, if we coach them hard, it's still with a positive mindset. But at the same time, if we get on them, then 10 minutes later we'll have our arm around them or we'll talk to them. And if we see them in the hallway, they're all our guys, and I want to make sure we communicate with them and take care of them. So it's that's something where hopefully they get a vibe of that. I'm here for all 90 of them.
Colgate looks to translate that urgency from practice, though, onto the field during game day. The next chance is tomorrow at home against William and Mary at 1 p.m. Also in Division III, I should say, Hamilton College opens its season tomorrow. The Continentals open the season with a conference game. Hamilton's won every game against Bowdoin since 2015, by the way, so that's 4 in a row now. In the Empire 8, Hartwick College plays in its first road game of the year, looking for another win, too, at Curry at 4 p.m. And then at 6, Utica College looks for its 3rd straight win. The Pioneers host Western New England University in their first home game of the year. So if you plan to go there in Utica tomorrow, make sure to wear orange for the Orange Out. And Syracuse plays on the road, and it's kind of a local rivalry. Not often do we see this matchup. Syracuse at UAlbany at noon. So we'll close out this broadcast when we return. We're going to take a look, though, first at what we can see on this station, WUTR, and then on WFXV this coming weekend in college football and also in the NFL. So stay tuned.